We are Sweet Chaos.
And this is another great episode of ETX Rocks,
featuring We Have Your Dog.
From the unknown to the stars, from the couch to the car, from the unheralded and the unheard, to the legends and beyond, it's where we all belong. Yes, this is where it all starts. From every genre, from every plane, this is where the music's played. So tune right in, won't you bring a friend? This is where it all begins. Welcome to the show, let the music flow of every style and creed. And you can bet your socks that ETX rocks, ETX rocks.
Hey guys, Boston Chris here with yet another awesome episode of the ETX ROCKS Show. You guys are tuned in to episode 261, and you're probably wondering that we are not on the regular ETX ROCKS set. That's because we are on location in Tyler, Texas at 9 Muses, right here on Irwin Street, a phenomenal metal venue here in town. And we're here with one of the hottest rock bands in East Texas currently. They're called We Have Your Dog. And we're definitely going to ask him about where they came up with that name, because I think it's a classic band name for sure. But first, I want you guys to introduce yourself. Again, we'll go from left to right. Tell us what instrument you play.
I'm Jackie Chernobyl. I play guitar.
And I'm Kenneth, aka Cosmic Dave, and I sing.
I'm Peabody Coltrane, and I play 6-string.
I'm Michael Julian Haddad. I play drums and percussion.
I am Michael Squall Anzaldua. I play bass.
I'm Laurel, and aka Havan, and I'm the female vocalist.
Awesome. And again, they're collectively known as We Have Your Dog. Now, you guys are going to play us a couple of songs tonight, so tell us a little bit about the first one. It's called Bite Your Bullet. Maybe tell us the story behind it.
Bite the Bullet. It was just something that kind of came to us, specifically me. Just some imageries, really. And then I kind of related those to different figures in my life, and they took on their own characters, and that's kind of how it just came about. It's just images that I'm downloaded with, and then I write out the story.
Yeah, the way we kind of developed that one, Dave just kind of had a little bit of a bass line, and he just kind of hummed it. And
I remember he was like, "You guys, I got this song. Listen. You hear it? You guys get it? You get it, don't you?"
And collectively, we all said no. We usually say no. It takes us a little time to figure out what comes out of his brain, but he's very creative. Like, he came up with probably one of the best songs. Like, from there, just everything just fell together perfectly for us.
Yeah, that was the beginning of it. It all came from Dave's phone recording. Yeah. We Have Your Dog.
Yeah.
So guys, we're really excited to show you this song live on the ETX ROCKS Show. It's called Bite the Bullet, and it's We Have Your Dog. Y'all check it out. All right, so we are back once again. It's episode 261 of the ETX ROCKS Show. I can't believe we've done that many episodes. I'm really thrilled to get to do this. And we're really excited to be an all-genre style show. The only one in Texas that I know of that features all genres of music, if we can help it. And that's one thing that I love about you guys is you really encompass a lot of different genres within your style and within your group. I know there's 6 of y'all, and just reading y'all's influences off the little questionnaire we sent y'all just blew my mind, from classical to 80s and 90s country and everything in between. So how does this work collectively in a chemistry fashion?
Well, it comes to, we had this standard agreement. I guess it's real loose, but to help each other get off musically at any cost.
Yeah. For the most part, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. We have, like you said, we're very eclectic in a lot of ways. Like,
with this many cooks in the kitchen, it's hard not to get some spicy dishes.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Are you saying you're too spicy?
We're probably not spicy enough. But I mean, collectively, I mean, we like country, we like classical. Our guitar, like Peabody here and Mike, or Squall, I should say, like they're classically trained musicians. They went to school for it. Jackie's a metalhead. I'm a metalhead. It just collectively we're all very.
There's a lot of jazz infusion involved here too. In
sort of. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you couldn't separate me from Miles Davis music if you tried.
I just think it's incredible that you guys can make it all work in a live atmosphere, to where everything feels planned and feels right.
Yeah,
you know, because a lot of times you can put too many ingredients into a pot and come up with Taco Bell level food.
Yeah.
They don't sponsor us, so I can say that.
We kind of just, we come to the table with an idea, and since we have a really good chemistry, we're able to feed off that, and we're able to say, should it go this way or should it go that way? And for the most part, we're very compromisable. We're very diplomatic in the kind of direction we want to go, and we just kind of agree slowly as we build along, and just kind of just figure out what feels best.
And it kind of goes in the chemistry, I would say. We kind of have a unique thing going on. Me, him, and him have been playing music together since 7th grade, 8th grade.
Well, between y'all, 7th grade, I kind of came in around 9th grade.
Well,
we all went to school together.
He was
I was a stand-in guy.
I met him in college, and she's new.
But to her credit, she kind of took the ball and started running, because
she was the element that we wanted to add to the equation.
Yeah, because she definitely adds a different dimension to what you guys overall are trying to accomplish as a band.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not just one thing to have an additional guitar player, which is also unique, especially in East Texas, but to add a different vocalist as well, just in a live atmosphere, that's going to add so many different dimensions that a lot of other groups can't bring. So, I mean, how much of that strategy was involved with asking Laurel to come on board?
Well, Laurel kind of came in when we really wanted to think to ourselves, pretty much what you're saying, we want more. We're even looking for keyboard. We're training, some of us are keyboard proficient, but some of us we're even training Laurel to play a little keyboard. We're looking for keyboard. We want to do more, everything we can. And Laurel had come over a long time ago to jam with me and David and Peabody.
Probably about 5 years ago, I'd say.
Exactly. We were just trying to start this little group. And then recently, we were just, about a year or two ago, we were just thinking, what about Laurel? Wonder if she's still jamming. Thank God she was.
And so, I mean, how much of the group, because again, there's 6 of y'all, how much of it is just checking your egos at the door and just making sure that the music is right and organic and all that stuff?
Oh, we love to argue. We take plenty of time to argue and fight over it. And then eventually somebody gets wore down, and we're like, all right, fine.
But
what are you guys arguing about? Is it simple stuff, like line structure or melodies? Or
nothing ever like important.
Yeah, usually. Yeah,
it's always friendly, just like.
Yeah, I mean, we've all been friends for a really long time, so we bicker. I mean, it happens.
It's like any marriage.
Yeah, but I mean, we're all friends. We're all kind of brothers and a sister.
We kind of just work it out.
And there's that moment like when you found out one of the other guys was right. Like, that does sound good.
Well, we always admit it. It's something where it was like, all right,
it might take a few weeks.
Yeah.
Well, in a broad sense, getting all the musicians to just put it all together, it really comes down to just letting everybody do what they want.
Yeah.
Whoever starts it, do what you want. The only time is when we kind of look at each other. If you play something bad, I think we all individually know.
Yeah.
We're going to do that again.
Yeah, let's not do that again.
So it's not too much. Every once in a while, someone's like, hey, I got this idea. Can you do it this way? And we do it. But every once in a while, it's just, I like that riff. And then we just let it bloom wherever it goes.
Yeah.
Well, if it sound, we all know it sounds good, hopefully.
Yeah.
We are in a position, thankfully, that we can all have our own outside lives and also be able to come together and do this as well.
Right.
And it's sometimes tedious and a challenge, but we make it happen.
The hardest thing about having 6 people in a band is scheduling anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
Just like rehearsals, practices.
Yeah, shows especially. Just trying to get shows down, like because we have
trying to hang out.
That
like each other.
Yeah, that too. We spend a lot of time together, but it's 6 people.
Yeah.
And we all have jobs. We have families. It's just how
We recently started using this app called
Team Up.
Team Up.
Yeah,
it's completely free.
We
we've been using that to keep us completely together on schedule.
Yeah, for the most part.
We book months ahead. We don't have to call each other and figure it out anymore. Very beautiful thing. This is brand new. I'm still
technology
excited
is
about
great.
it.
Kind of like the way we use Google Docs.
Yeah.
Like we'll add something to documents on there, and everybody else that's involved with the show has that on their computer as well. And so when I add something on there, then the other people that are involved see it too. Man, we'd be lost without something like that.
Right, we throw stuff on Google Drive to let other people hear ideas.
Right.
Anybody listen to it? Listen to what?
We did mention earlier that you guys, in my opinion, one of the hottest rock bands around, and Tyler, Texas has just a huge rock and roll scene, I think. It might be a little bit under the radar, I think, but hopefully that's changing. But tell us a little bit about the rock scene here in Tyler, Texas. I mean, you have some phenomenal venues out here, and you guys are a major part of that scene as well. So tell us a little bit about that.
It's really active. I mean, there's like you said, a lot of bands. Shout out to some of our buddies, Post Profit and Chaos and Creation. There's a bunch of, there's so much talent in this little city.
Right.
And compared to other cities, this one's just growing.
Well, it's not just Tyler either. Because Tyler's the only place to go in quite a big area. We get the biggest draw from Jacksonville, Longview, and Nacogdoches,
Shreveport, even. It's a growing thing, and we're really excited to be a part of it because for a while we kind of noticed that there was a little bit of a lull.
Yeah.
For a few years, there wasn't a lot of bands kind of moving around here, and since the inception of this project a few years ago now. Bands are starting to pop up and names are starting to come through.
Well, I mean, we've been involved in the music scene for about 3 years now, and just in that time, and it's not just rock and roll, it's it's genre wide. There's so much different talent, different folks kind of pulling together, and it's always cool from an outsider's perspective or a fan's perspective to see all of y'all supporting each other and pulling on the same side of the rope because in a lot of different scenes, that's not a thing that's happening, and it can really cut everybody down if you're not doing that.
We've always been the type of band to want to reach out to the other bands that we play with and network with, so we can create the scene. Because if you have bands that are got their egos up and they're not wanting to support each other, there's no scene, there's no unity, there's no togetherness. Instead, there's division, which then there's no scene. But if bands could start coming together and networking together, build shows together, promote other venues together, I think we could really have something going on here in East
and
Texas.
another big component to that is promote each other.
Absolutely.
There's so much missing in that. If you're not playing that night, even if the band is not your friend, but you know that they're playing in a venue that you play a lot, whether it's Clicks or Nine Users or wherever. Promote those bands because in return they may do the same for you.
Absolutely.
And promote the venues too.
Exactly.
And promote the venues.
Exactly.
Nine Muses, thanks Asai, thank you so much.
Yeah,
for letting us come out, man.
And we'll definitely be saying their name a lot, and we'll tag them in here. Nine Muses is putting this on for us, letting us interview We Have Your Dog, and so definitely a huge shout out to them. And we'll make sure there's a link to their page down in the description for you guys to check out. But this is kind of like a DIY kind of place.
Yeah.
Like old school.
It's fun.
It's rough around the edges. As we like to think.
It has that good underground kind of feel to it, and I think there's room for that for other bands.
There has to be room for that. There's a huge niche for that in any scene.
Yeah.
And we were like as far as promoting other bands, we've actually at our last show tried to take it to the next level with that. The bands that were local with us, Jeffsum and the Traveler and Post Profit, we actually got them to come over before our show and incorporate them into our songs, feature on our music, just try to get folks to stay the whole time, get everybody supporting each other, which if anybody wants to jam with us on any of our shows.
That's absolutely
it's a lot of fun to share the stage.
Exactly.
Especially with really talented musicians. And there's so many around here.
And it's one thing to play after each other and before each other, but playing together, it's just a whole different.
It's a lot of fun. It makes
feel.
And it just creates an all-star environment for the fans too.
Yeah.
Man, I never thought I was going to see this tonight. Yeah. And then you have people talking about your future shows, like, man, you never know what those guys are going to do up there.
Like the Avengers.
Wonder Twin Powers unite in the shape of. That's called aging myself. So, we've been trying to get this thing together with We Have Your Dog for probably well over a year now. We've been talking to y'all, and you guys have just been blowing up. I've been hearing your name in my ear from different people all over the place. Even when we announced y'all were coming on the show, there was a huge reaction from different folks, from Tyler and Longview and different other places that you guys have played. So, and it's really exciting for us to feature all genre and have you guys on. But we're probably like 10 minutes into this, and I know our fans are probably asking me, why the hell haven't you asked them where they got their name yet? So, I mean, obvious, that's the question here. So how'd you come up with that? Did you guys actually kidnap somebody's canine?
I was cutting up a newspaper for ransom note letters, and it just kind of fell on the board. And it's like
that sounds like a lie.
He called you out, man.
Yeah. We don't have a good explanation of all the things we've been working on. We haven't thought about that so much. We took so long to come up with a band name, and nobody liked anything. I swear, I think all the great band names are taken. Somebody said We Had Your Dog, and I laughed a little too hard, and somebody took that as an endorsement.
Yeah.
Well, and so now that's our name?
Yeah, we really had no idea where it came from, to be honest.
Somewhere in that area, I remember someone saying, "What's that thing you said? We have." I think it was saying, "We got your dog. We got your dog. We have your dog." I don't know where it came. I think it came to the point where nobody
grammatically
argued.
correct. Right?
It just came to the point where it's like, well, no one's going to say anything.
All right,
typing it in.
All right, I guess that's it.
And you don't have to worry about the Google check with that either.
Exactly.
Nobody's. Yeah.
The .com was readily available.
I
imagine so.
It was definitely unique, and so we just kind of decided to run with it. And it's something that we could just we can run with and be creative with, and just and it kind of fits our theme, our style, and who we are, because we have your dog. I mean, and that's the dog is the metaphor for whatever you want to be.
Yeah. Right. It could be friendly, or it could be threatening, or
exactly. Like, hey, we've got your dog. You can come pick him up. We found him on the road. All right. We've got him.
Plus, you can get really creative with Craigslist ads. Let's be honest. Like, if you need a bassist in the future or something like that. We need a bassist. We have your dog, Tyler, Texas. Call this number.
Well, I better play bass for him.
Yeah. People are missing their dogs everywhere. They're learning bass guitar. Why are you learning bass? I got to get my dog back.
It is a fun name though, because it does kind of resonate in some ways. It's funny, but it's sinister. So it's anywhere we go, the shtick.
But it also
sticks.
works for you guys because the name is unique. And I mean, you guys are unique. For example, I've never done this before, but I'm going to go left to right. And the question for each of you is, what genre of music do you play? So I want to know what each of you think. So we'll start with you.
All.
Yeah,
everything in between.
I call us a rock band.
Cucumber.
I feel like it's rock, but I just tell people we're a musical act, because there's actually a lot more things we haven't done yet that's on the back burner.
It's on the way.
Yeah, I was explaining a variety of rock.
Yeah, it's difficult to narrow us down to any kind of genre, because each song in itself has its own little character. Like the song we heard earlier, like that's its own song. The next song that's coming up is going to be its own song. The song after that is its own song, and we could play a full set here. You're not going to hear the same kind of style. So anytime somebody says like a family friend or anyone, they say, you know, oh, what kind of music y'all play? It's really one of the hardest questions to ask.
I've told folks we've got something for everybody.
Yeah.
We didn't play our metal song tonight, though.
It's definitely a starting ground, and there's just no end to what we may do in the future as well. We're just getting started with our sound, so we're open to just being creative.
Well, it's funny, you know, the third song you guys played tonight, which we put out as a sneak peek about a week ago, it's called Cabazone, and I was getting like Bruno Mars vibes in there, and like Ben Folds 5, you know, Jump Jet, Jive and Wail, if you remember those.
And we love hearing this because we to us we hear like, you know, Chili Peppers, we hear
Talking Heads,
we hear that, but we hear you say that and we're like, oh, okay, all right. So it's funny how that works.
I was not expecting to feel like a Bruno Mars vibe tonight coming to see y'all. I'm not gonna lie, and then. Like, I felt like, it's funny because there's a studio next door where they're teaching people how to dance. And so you guys are playing that song, and I'm out there smoking, and I'm watching them dance. And, I mean, all I hear is your song, and I'm seeing them dance. And they're like, it's like square dancing and cha-cha, and it fit. I'm laughing my ass off, man. I was like, dude, they're dancing, and we had your dog, and they don't even know it.
That is awesome.
Actually, with that song, that kind of was the idea. We get tired of being a bunch of white folk playing a bunch of square white music. It's like, you know, eventually we got to play something somebody can dance to.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's definitely that song, man, for sure. And I mean, you guys both have phenomenal voices, just incredible vocalists, and the musicianship all the way around is second to none. You guys are really lucky to have each other, for sure.
Yeah.
Certainly.
I think that all the time.
Yeah.
We went through a long break, and I just couldn't find anybody I wanted to jam with, and then we came back together, and it's, yes.
And it took a while for all the players here to fall in line.
Yeah.
Because, sorry, go ahead.
No, and
A
what's
lot of
so
Chinese
beautiful-
water torture.
Yeah. I mean, there's waterboarding. I mean,
And what's so beautiful about this is that we're all team players.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We're all very active, and
Did it take a while to get there?
I mean, not with us. I mean, getting this band formed and that the process before it took a while to find the right people.
Right.
And what's so great about it is that we kind of all knew each other in a way, and we built that relationship before we started playing. And here you go, we have this chemistry that nobody else can touch.
In my head, it's been since 8th grade. Been trying to do it since 8th grade. We did it, Jack.
Well, and then the beauty about the art of being in a band, if you want to call it art, is as a musician, as all musicians, even musicians watching this, the more you play your instrument, the more better you get. You can't start to suck.
Yeah.
Like the more you play, the better you're going to get. That's just how things go. So it's really interesting because we've been playing, all of us collectively, for a long time, not together but separately. So as we continue to practice and play with each other, we're learning off of each other too, and we're seeing where each of us are going with our own instrument. Like in the time that we started this project back in 2012, whenever he and I were starting to just jam, whenever I moved back to East Texas, like he's instead of guitar, he moved to bass, and he's become a phenomenal bass player.
Yeah.
Jack's gotten a lot better too. I didn't know Peabody for a long time, but he's grown since I've known him.
I'm all right.
Yeah, he's okay. And then of course,
He's got a kick-ass nickname.
Yeah, Peabody
Let's be honest. Peabody Coltrane.
Now the story of that,
yeah.
it's more confusing, but it is more true. I had a friend growing up, and I was playing guitar, and he liked me to come over to his house and bring my guitar and just jam for people who want to listen. And one day his uncle comes over, actually a second cousin, but we call him our uncle. It's East Texas. I'm playing guitar. He sees me first, a little skinny guy with glasses, and then he sees me play some Jimi Hendrix, and he says, "Wow, you some kind of Peabody Coltrane." Like Mr. Peabody from Bullwinkle and
But see, I don't know whether
John
to believe
Coltrane.
you now after We Have Your Dog. So,
See, no, the great thing is, John Prine wrote a song talking about Peabody Coltrane.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
right.
never knew it. And now I can lie and tell people that's where it comes from. Tell people I'm a John Prine fan.
We just want to keep you guessing always.
Yeah. A lot of mystery with us.
So you guys, as a small town rock band, I mean, Tyler is a city, but I mean, compared to Dallas and Houston and places where rock is really a flourishing scene, what struggles do you guys face as a small town rock band?
getting crowds motivated to come out to shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we all have a lot of friends, but it's hard to get, naturally, it's hard to get people just to come to shows.
We also feel that it's since we're so wide and eclectic, it's hard to find that kind of fan base, because I think most listeners in this era are used to a certain particular style, certain particular sound. So when they hear something that's not that, at first it throws their ear off and they're not sure how to feel about it. A lot of the reaction we get from our crowd, the people that have never seen us, is a dead silence.
Yeah.
Or else it's a big, phenomenal hell yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that silence, it really isn't a negative thing. It's space.
To
It's
me, that
space
means
for
they're
them
listening.
to like soak it in and look at like, shit, what did I just hear? What did I just experience? And it makes them think.
I could definitely see that happening too, because I mean we've been to a lot of metal shows and Clicks Live type atmosphere shows, and yeah, I can imagine that kind of hitting people a little bit off if y'all are playing up there, depending on who else is on the lineup. But if you go from like prog rock or screamo or something like that, and then you're hitting those Bruno Mars vibes, I can see silence happening.
So it does. We find the challenge of finding bands that we can perform with that would go with us. If not, because of this area is very heavily influenced in just solid metal, which we love metal and we have some metal influences in our music. We just get grouped into that and sometimes overlooked by those crowds.
Absolutely.
So in a way, it's our challenge is being able to get to the bigger city like Dallas and fitting in with some different type of bands there, and that's our biggest challenge, especially here in the East Texas area.
Although to be fair, Dallas is kind of the same way. You go up to Deep Ellum and they're like, "Oh, you're like a punk band." No. Well, then you're a metal band. No. Well, then you're an indie band. No. Well, then what are you doing in Deep Ellum?
I think we could fall into the category of indie, but it's such a, I don't know.
Well, it's broad strokes,
Yeah,
man, with
yeah.
what
I
you
mean,
guys are putting out, you know?
Yeah.
And I think we're wanting to push the envelope with that. We're wanting to cover. We're wanting to touch on different elements of music and mold that together into something that's unique. And I think, if anything, we could help bridge that gap for other bands that find it hard to place themselves with other bands in the area.
Yeah, you guys could easily be setting a trend for younger artists coming up behind you that it's okay to play whatever you like.
Yeah.
You know, because if you like it, other people are going to like it too.
You don't have to limit
I
yourself.
think a very good goal, our goal that I have in my head that I could hope I could get the group to go to, is as we accumulate more songs of different styles, we could set lists to different venues, play the heavy songs with the heavy bands, play the melodic songs with the heavy bands, so we can play more places with more people.
Yeah.
It's kind of ideal in my head.
And that's how you build a fan base too.
Absolutely.
And then your fan base can be as diverse as you are.
Exactly. Because they don't want to hear the Cabazon and think, I want to hear some distortion.
Yeah, the one
and
thing.
then don't listen to the next song.
Sorry. The one thing we didn't want to do is fall into the trap of just playing the same kind of sounding music.
Yeah.
That's something we all agreed on from the get-go.
Yeah, because if you can't distinguish one song from another, then you can't distinguish one show from another.
Certainly, yeah.
You know?
I know I've been teaching music lessons for years. As a music educator, it actually dawned on me some time ago that, I learned how to make music by playing all these songs from other people that I love so much. If I'm going to be in a band making music, I should probably, think about writing something some kid can learn in his bedroom and, shape the way their music education goes. I think one of the reasons we do try to get so diverse is maybe to get some people around here that only listen to one style of music, maybe getting them to listen to a little bit more, and maybe these scenes can grow a lot better with a lot more open ears.
A little more acceptance.
Yes.
There you go.
Certainly, yeah.
For sure. And guys, we're here with We Have Your Dog, all 6 of them. I think this is the most people we've ever interviewed at one time. So we've set a new record on the show. And it's We Have Your Dogs, episode 261. And guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with more from these guys, including another song. And we're going to play What the Heck with these guys. So don't go anywhere.
Okay.
We are Tap Dead Center.
Thanks for tuning in to the ETX ROCKS Show.
All right, so we are back, and this is, again, 261, episode 261 of the ETX ROCKS Show, featuring We Have Your Dog. And as you know, if you've tuned into the show before, we like to have a little fun with our guests on the show. And we typically play a game with our guests every single time we have a show. And Tonight we are going to play y'all's favorite and mine, What the Heck. And the way this game works is I'm just going to ask you guys probably 5 to 7 questions. And I'm just looking for you guys to shut your filters off and tell me the first thing that pops into your head.
Are we doing this individually or is it collective group?
Either or, it doesn't matter to me. So, and some of these questions might be stupid or gross or silly. I might throw a deep one or two in there. Just trying to see what you guys will come up with. So you ready for this?
Bring it on. Bring it on.
So this is What the Heck with We Have Your Dog. Number 1, if evolution is true, then how did sloths make the cut?
Very slowly. Really still.
So they're just kind of hoping evolution doesn't notice them?
That's right.
They're still trying to catch up, actually.
See, he does speak, y'all. Just have to ask him a question about sloths. All right, number 2. Why isn't cereal considered soup?
I thought it was.
It's not hot.
You don't put it in water.
It's not spicy.
I don't think
There's cold soup though.
there's hot cereal too, but
That's a good question.
You just blew my mind.
Yeah, I need a nap.
personally, I think it's because if it was considered soup, then they would have one less aisle at the grocery store, and then everything would just look out of place.
Well, does soup come in boxes?
Yeah.
I think it does, yeah.
Yeah, some like broth.
I think you can get broth boxes.
Yeah. I just thought it was wet cardboard.
All right, number 3. If God sneezes, what do you guys tell him?
Blessings.
Bless him? Okay.
I would agree.
I think he can take care of himself.
Yeah.
I'd say, excuse you.
Excuse you. That's great. All right.
Into your elbow.
Couldn't you hold that in?
All right, number 4, and this is a really important one. This might be the deepest question we asked tonight. Now, when you guys are dating somebody new, what is the appropriate amount of time to wait before going number 2 in front of them?
7.5 minutes.
Minutes. So like first date at Chili's, you're just like, come with me.
Yeah, you invite him in. Yeah.
Get
Before
it out of the
the
way.
appetizer even
Yeah,
arrives,
it's
he's like, will you go to the powder room with me?
Put him to the test right away.
Yeah.
If
Hold
you're
the
first-
stall door open for me.
If your first date is camping, you really don't have a choice.
Well,
Help me.
I mean, honestly, theoretically, I'm going to camp in a pretty big, wide open woods area. I could probably get away from whoever I'm there with.
Not the
You're
smell.
camping in much too small of an area. It's like the infants area of Walmart. You shouldn't camp there. All right, number 5. What do you think Superman's changing his clothes nowadays?
Any you DC guys here?
Nah.
I've been watching Marvel.
We're
Well, I
all.
mean, it used to be phone booths, and they don't have those anymore. So.
Porta potties?
Yeah, it could be porta potties.
No, there's one out.
It's the broom closet.
So like if there's trouble, he's just like, I gotta find a festival.
In that show, it was always the broom closet.
I thought he just took off his glasses.
That was awesome. Dude, I thought that was Superman for me. It's like, dude,
Wait, who are you?
who knew Superman was a bass player? All right, number 6. Isn't Chuck E. Cheese just a casino for kids?
Yes.
Yes.
I will boycott them until the day I die.
You ever notice how Chuck E. Cheese will put their places like right next to a place that has far better pizza than them? Like, whoever their marketing director should be fired.
Total ripoff.
It's like,
Teach my
okay,
kid to gamble.
we want to know, we're going to check it out. What place in Tyler has the best pizza? Okay, that's where we're going.
So I went to Chuck E. Cheese and it was horrible. I ordered this personal pizza. It was the thing I'd ever seen in my life.
Get on Yelp. Get on Yelp.
Yeah. 1 star.
All right, let's see. Number 6. I think we're on 6.
That sounds right.
All right, now someone gives you guys an elephant collectively as a band. They give you one elephant, okay?
This real
Now,
elephant or fake elephant?
It's a real elephant. Shits and everything. All right, so now you can't sell the elephant. You can't give it away. So what do you guys do with this elephant?
Cook it.
Keep it in the room.
I heard keep
endangered
it and
species.
cook it. Within
Why is it doing in East Texas in my house?
We had a lot of peanuts in the closet.
I'd keep it, raise it, call it my buddy.
Well, now we gotta change
It'll
our
fit
name
right in the
again.
middle of the band.
we have to change. We have your elephant.
We
It's in the room.
we teach it harmonica and just give it to it in its trunk and let it.
Just think of the music video opportunities you guys could have with that.
Good
thing,
production.
man.
That'd be radical.
That'd be cool.
I can finally do my best Katy Perry.
Yeah.
You could dress it up like a dog and just try to play it off.
That can
like
be
you
our
don't
Eddie.
notice. All right, number 7. If you guys were each a cannibal, do you think clowns would taste funny?
Yes.
Yeah.
There'd be hairy, afro.
What if they were like female clowns?
Even better. We're getting a little dark now. I like it.
I think it depends on the clown. Like, are we talking it?
John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, well, that's.
That'd be like Jeffrey
Greasy.
Dahmer and John
Greasy.
Wayne Gacy in the
It's really
same room.
gamey.
You'd have to ask Jeffrey if he tasted funny.
I was about to say, yeah, you gotta get them in the room with you.
They may smell like that elephant, so.
Yeah, I agree. All right, number 8 and last one. This is an important one. I think all your fans will want to know, just for future reference. On average, how many times do each of you hurt yourself every week?
Every day. Every day.
Yeah.
Like, not purposeful.
I would hope not.
I live in a bubble. Nothing gets to me.
I don't know. I work in a machine shop, so it's constant cuts and stuff. So.
I like the abuse.
Yeah.
Take
All
it
right,
to it.
I lied. That's not going to be the last one.
Okay. I thought that one was a little almost deep.
Little more thought-provoking question. Each of you can choose who your celebrity parents are. Who are they?
Wow.
Susie Essman from Curb Your Enthusiasm and Rodney Dangerfield.
Thinking about this, man. That's
I know. I've been thinking about it a long time.
I'd pick Reese Witherspoon and James McAvoy.
Patrick
Yeah.
Stewart and Scarlett Johansson.
Man, that would make Patrick really happy.
He deserves it.
I'd have to go with Ozzy and Sharon, just because it's just constant insanity.
Well, like they wouldn't ever focus on you; they'd be too busy fighting with each other.
Well, I'd be there with my camera just watching it all the time. I mean, I have a reality show in my hand. It'd be awesome.
All right, last two over here.
Each other.
I think. Surprise! This is a wedding.
Laurel and Hardy. I mean, Yanny and Hardy. Sorry.
Yeah, let's get it right.
He
It's
heard
Yanny.
the third one that nobody else heard.
Yeah.
One guy.
I heard. What was it? I heard, Dave.
Larry.
I heard Leary.
Leary.
Leary. Leery is what I heard. Leary.
Like tune in, turn on, drop out.
Timothy Leary?
Yeah.
Dennis
yeah,
Leary?
Or
yeah.
Dennis Leary?
Dennis Leary?
Or like the clientele in this place make me leery.
That one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right, so that was What the Heck with We Have Your Dog. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. Yeah, I know. They didn't. He didn't want to answer it.
He doesn't know celebrities.
Yeah,
He doesn't have a TV.
No, I would say Jim Morrison and
Johnny Depp.
Aren't they the
they're
same
very
guy?
progressive. They're very progressive.
Isn't that the same guy? Yeah, Jim Morrison and David Bowie.
Nice. Yeah, because I've never seen Johnny Depp and Jim Morrison in the same place at the same time, so you just never know. Starting new conspiracy theories out there.
They're back from the future.
Yeah. So that was What the Heck with We Have Your Dog. Now you guys are going to play another song for us. The second song is called Equilibrium. So tell us a little bit about this one. Now I know that you're the singer on this one. So
Yes.
who wrote the song and how did it come about?
I forget who started.
I started the music. It was the first song that we started with Laurel. After we decided to make her a permanent member of the group, I said, well, somebody's got to write something for her, and I decided, well, I also figured it'd be a good chance to do a little more southern, a little more bluesy kind of song. So I sat down with a fifth and with my guitar
And we're not talking Beethoven shit. Just so y'all know out there.
I came up with the lyrics, and the lyrics you can take them quite literal.
Yeah.
basically, you don't have to be the victim of a situation or a breakup, for instance, and you can make the most out of it.
So again, you know, they've been saying it all for the whole show. You're not going to hear a song that sounds anything like the first song you heard earlier. And of course, you guys saw the sneak peek song that came out on Facebook a little earlier in the week. None of this stuff is the same song or the same style. It's what makes these guys so impressive, I think. But we're really excited to show you this live version of Equilibrium right here on the ETX Rock Show. It's We Have Your Dog, y'all. Check it out.
Step out of that door, afraid that I would never be happy. Then I found the shadows escape me. Can't you see the cross proclaim a self-fulfilled prophecy?
All right, so we are back once again. This is episode 261 of the ETX ROCKS Show. We're fast approaching the end of season 3. We only have about 40 episodes left to go before season 3 is in the books. And we are talking to some big names right now to be our episode 300 guest. As soon as we find out who that's going to be, I have a good idea, but I'm not ready to announce yet. But you guys make sure you're following along with us on social media, and I'm going to announce that probably by the end of the summer, so y'all be looking for that. Really big stuff coming up for you guys out there. But once again, we have your dog in the house here live at 9 Muses in Tyler, Texas, right here on Irwin Street. And so if people are hearing about y'all for the first time, where can they follow along with the social media stuff and all that jazz?
WeHaveYourDog.com. We Have Your Dog band. We Have Your Dog in any social media account. You will get us.
Yeah. Facebook, Twitter,
Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube. It's best to go to the website because you can find us there. We have all the feeds there, all the upcoming shows, pictures, videos, booking information, just some mindless jabber from all of us on the webpage. We put quotes.
If you give us a good quote, put it on our website too.
Reviews too.
I think I might give him a quote by the end of the day. Either me or the producer, because I definitely enjoy what you guys are doing. I think you guys are eclectic and very diverse in a scene that needs that desperately. And again, I think it's a good idea to try to make yourself playable at all sorts of venues. So I think that's a really good strategic move on y'all's part. And new music, are you guys working on in the studio and stuff like that?
We got 3 working right now, and then a slew of ones that are just sitting there waiting.
Yeah.
Just waiting.
Yeah, we're constantly writing. We all kind of write on our own. We bring ideas forth. It just depends on how we feel. We're also working on a lot of covers too. Typically, we try to keep away from covers, but we do have a pretty good size show coming up. I don't know if I can plug it now.
Yeah, absolutely.
At Garage Bar right up the road here in Tyler. We're
also on Irwin.
Also on Irwin, yeah. We're playing a fairly big cover show and our originals too. And the covers are pretty out of this world, playing everything from Portishead to Side A to Metallica to what else?
Arctic Monkeys.
Wow.
Like it's all over.
Is this going to be a full 4-hour show?
We got a full 4-hour show.
Yeah.
We're going to sprinkle in our originals in there with the covers. I mean, we're so concentrated on this right now.
And when is this show?
July 28th at the Garage Bar. We have your Garage Bar. We're taking it over.
And for those that may not be familiar, the Garage Bar is also on Irwin here in Tyler, Texas. Another great venue that supports local music and live music here in East Texas. Garage Bar has been around. It's been around forever, but as the Garage Bar, it's been around again for about 1.5 years, I think. And a lot of great rock bands play there, as well as other genres as well. They're really keeping it eclectic there as well. So I'm really excited. You guys are working on a record, and hopefully we'll have that. What's the ETA on that, would you say?
Well, record. That's so hard to get. Right now we're just working on getting some good singles. Like, as we like them and recording them, we're popping them out there. We're currently trying to work with some of our friends over we got several people wanting to master for us, so I won't name any names yet because we haven't picked anybody in particular. But I have somebody in mind. If you're watching, you know who I'm talking about. But we're ready to sprinkle those out as they are and just let folks get them.
We have a lot of songs in the burner. We've run into a lot of trouble trying to record it. Aside from the scheduling issue, we've had 2 computers die on us. We've had equipment break on us. The recording process.
What you got to do is give that person's dog back, and all that karma will stop.
The thing that we've kind of done is we haven't really sought out for anybody to record us. We haven't looked at recording studios. We're just taking what we have and doing it ourselves.
Yeah.
And we've ran into a lot of technical issues along the way. And with things changing in the industry, with things changing in the scene, we're kind of taking a step back and saying, do we really want to release an album? How about we just release songs and put those out there and then, work towards an album at a later time, but just get that to where people can start listening to it.
We also just recently started getting paid well, so.
Another reason why we started doing covers is because we wanted to kind of just build some revenue so we can not only get our name out there by playing covers that we like, but mixing in our own originals, but so we could also earn some extra cash to start funding our own music.
Yeah. And like you said, to take it out and master it and stuff, and get it on platforms, iTunes, all that good stuff. So it's just a little process. We're actually taking our time with it.
And that's a good thing.
Because the last thing we want to do is rush it. Because
Yeah.
we've all experienced rushing before. Whenever we first started recording, we all kind of rushed it, and
Well, we had demo quality stuff,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's what we call it, demo quality.
So we're kind of in the process of recording and re-recording and just taking a step back and giving it to professional masters
Yeah.
and try to get it all situated before we release. But we do have little good tidbits on our website and the YouTube.
Cool.
And you can find all that there.
And once again, for you guys out there, it's wehaveyourdog.com. And YouTube, if you just type in We Have Your Dog, they do have a YouTube account there as well with a lot of great videos for your listening pleasure. And again, hit the subscribe button on YouTube because that'll help these guys out a lot. Just get their videos and suggested video
Hit
areas
that bell,
on
too.
YouTube.
Hit that bell.
And we're always kind of looking for input too. Like if there's something you like, we'll take any compliment, we'll take any trashing, we'll take
Yeah,
whatever.
anything that's
we love
bad,
hearing
they'll
it.
delete.
Yeah.
Well, it spurs conversation, and every
Certainly,
time
yeah.
someone comes back to argue, we get another view.
That is very true. It's so awesome. I love when we get or dislikes or unlikes or whatever they're called on YouTube. I'm like, thank you. Another view.
It counts.
Yeah, it counts.
Please start an argument with somebody.
Yeah, that's always great.
9/11 never happened.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, that'll get people going
Oh,
for
no.
sure. Yeah. I'm gonna have to remember that for future reference. Like, man, I really love this band. Yeah, but Kennedy was shot by 3 people.
They start just typing.
There are exactly 2 genders.
My new clickbait manager over here. So yeah, once again, we're sitting here at 261 with We Have Your Dog. It's wehaveyourdog.com. It's We Have Your Dog Band on Facebook. I believe it's the same thing on other social media.
Twitter's We Have Your Dog.
But I know you can
Yeah.
get to all that
Yeah.
through the webpage.
They're all on that page, and they're even kind of streamed on there. You can click on them from it, see what's
Right.
actually on them.
Yeah.
And so if there
It's
were
very good
venues out
website.
there that wanted to book y'all for future shows, where would you send them for contact?
They send us to wehaveyourdogband@gmail.com. That's the best way to get a hold of us. Constantly got a hold of it. And talk to us. Pay us.
Yeah, definitely, guys.
Yeah.
We want your money. Hashtag.
We'll put it on there. Hashtag We Want Your Money. We Have Your Dog. We Want Your Money. That's called Cause and Effects. children. Cause and Effect. So once again, it's episode 261 featuring We Have Your Dog. Again, it's We Have Your Dog Band, wehaveyourdog.com. It's wehaveyourdog@gmail.com if you're a venue out there and want these guys to play at your venue. I know they'll do shows with other bands. They also can bring you a 3 or 4 hour show now, which is a very unique thing for rock bands in East Texas. There's very few full bands that can do a full night's, full 4 sets of work in one night. And we're going to try to make it out to the Garage Bar on July, what was it, 28th. July 28th at the Garage Bar. We Have Your Dog will be there live, doing some covers and sprinkling in their own original stuff as well. If we show up, we're going to want more originals.
Oh, you'll get them.
Play all of them.
You're going to get them.
Very cool.
We have an hour of originals that you haven't even heard yet.
Very cool. So yeah, we'll definitely try to put that on our schedule. If you're watching the ETX ROCKS Show for the first time, definitely want to thank you guys for spending some time with us today. You can follow along with everything we have going on. We're located at ETX ROCKS, and you can find that on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you're watching on YouTube, smash that subscribe button. That's the biggest way you can help us. And as a subscriber, you'll get advanced notification of every single video we upload, from all of our live episodes, live performances, all kinds of cool stuff. And I think we have like 7,500 hours of content on YouTube, almost 1,200 videos. Also, we just launched a brand new website, which is etxrocks.show. And by the end of today, we will have all 3 of these guys' live performances playing on our playlist at etxrocks.show. Every single live performance that's ever been played on the show is right there at your fingertips. Kind of like internet radio. It's kind of a cool thing we just started. And of course, you can get linked up with all of our episodes and all of the stuff we have going on, including our live events too, all across East Texas. We have an acoustic series that we put on all across the region. So make sure you're following along with that. As you might know, we are completely self-funded as well, so we depend on viewers and listeners like you out there to help us out with finances to help us keep going. So we've set up a donate link at www.paypal.me/ETX Rocks, and we'll take anything from 5 cents to $1.5 million. Is it $1.5 million? Yes, $1.5 million. And that's just because of the tax code. You know, when Trump became all that stuff, you know, I go $1.6 million just doesn't work.
You gotta cover yourself.
Tax man.
And nothing under a nickel. That's just rude. Don't be that guy. Don't PayPal me 4 cents again. You know I'm talking, Mom.
Do you accept pesos?
Pesos, Polish zloty, Egyptian pounds.
Bitcoin?
No. I took Bitcoin once, and the damn Pepsi machine took it. And it didn't give me soda or nothing. I was like, screw this Bitcoin stuff.
Pepsi.
However, we will take rubles from Zelda and Robert De Niro. Somebody sent me Joe Pesci once, and now I got this short guy in the corner going, "Are you sure about that 5 minutes?" No, shut up. But no, just American dollars. And earlier I forgot to mention that if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, make sure you're only hitting that subscribe button once, because if you hit it twice, we'll charge $22.66 in pesos, but only on a Sunday. And we just tell them that because if you hit the button twice, you actually unsubscribe.
But if there's a little bell next to it, it won't alert anybody of your stuff unless they hit the bell. I had to hit the bell next to the subscribe thing.
There's a bell on YouTube?
Yeah, subscribe, and there's a little bell. That means tell me everything about the show. Otherwise, they don't show you anything.
Yeah, no wonder why I suck at this. So
watch a lot of YouTube.
That noise you guys hear after this show is me trying to find the bell on YouTube. Which is a little bit different than the little bell thing she has going on over here. Anyway, as we always say on this show, we want to thank you guys out there for always supporting live music of all genres and all styles. And don't ever forget,
ETX rocks!
That's right.
From the unknown to the stars, from the couch to the car, from the unheralded and the unheard, to the legends and beyond, it's where we all belong. Yes, this is where it all starts. From every genre, from every plane, this is where the music's played. So tune right in, won't you bring a friend? This is where it all begins. Welcome to the show, let the music flow of every style